I think with characters and stuff, it's very instinctive. So, with Rob, I just had an immediate understanding of who this guy was, and then, you get to meet, wonderful actors like Sarah Green and Conleth Hill and Mo Dunford and Peter MacDonald, and there's a lot of really wonderful Irish actors in this show. And so luckily, it kind of, and with Sarah Phelps's writing, it sort of takes a lot of the work out of my hands. In many respects, all I have to achieve is to just be there. So in terms of sort of the developing the role and all that jazz, it's like you kind of, you hope there's as little thought as possible, like really as little thought as possible, that you learn the lines, you listen to a bit of Joy Division, and you show up on set and you just try and get the right energy so that you respond to the other actors. And like Rob and the world of the show is like dark, and there's Rob is quite disturbed in many ways, and there's lots of threatening elements over the course of the 8 episodes, and isn't a fundamentally particularly joyful person, is wrapped up in all sorts of existential anxiety, and but I don't feel that that you need to do anything beyond just letting the script do that work for you, and also with this thing of like a 7-month shoot where you're playing a role for 8 episodes, it's so far removed from like a 3-week low budget indie shoot or whatever it is. I mean, you really have time to allow the character to just unfold, which is one of the things I loved about this gig, was that you could do that, so it became very organic, and it wasn't something that I felt required too much prior analyses. It's just like you just let it go, you just unleash it, and you follow where it takes you more than anything else.
It's a lot about 8 non-commercial hours, 8 full, it is a lot.
But it was a good amount of time in that it didn't feel rushed. It felt like, I don't know how it felt from Noemi's perspective.
Didn't feel rushed.
It certainly felt like we were taking the right amount of time to authentically capture all the things that we were trying to capture. And it was a big ask, though, in terms of, Sol Dibb, John Hayes, and Rebecca Gatward, our 3 directors. Like, luckily you're doing block shooting, so you're only shooting 2 episodes at a time. But when you're dealing with different time zones, so the show jumps between 2006 and 1984, and there can be complications as a result that are very time consuming. But
and we were filming a lot in and around Belfast, but also in Derry and in Dublin, of course, and around Dublin. So there was a lot of moving to be done in between blocks and within those blocks as well. So
there's a logistical thing that can get in the way.
Across some incredibly brutal seasons in Northern Ireland, a lot of cold rain. Poor Killian.
It's only one season really in my home country. It's sort of just a version of winter all the time, but which makes filming things challenging. But there seems to be a real appetite for that kind of stuff, and there seems to be, I think the best thing in some respects about the proliferation of sort of streaming platforms is that it sort of demands a greater quality. Like, audiences know that there's a lot of options, so they'll demand the highest level of quality and authenticity. And that's certainly something we pursued. But it's definitely a popular genre. I mean, I don't know what it says about all of us, but we're all into it. Like, as am I. Like, 2 shows you mentioned, particularly the first season of True Detective, it's a masterpiece, and I was so disturbed by it, and yet I had to keep watching it. And it taps into some sort of Jungian shadows of the mind instinct that we all have, and we're hopefully going to be a part of that. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just trying to deny.
With this show, I think, why we all like crime is a mystery, but with this show specifically, I think that Rob and Cassie, as a relationship, I think you would go anywhere, hopefully, with Rob and Cassie, to the darkest places, to the lightest places, to, where they care about solving the crime, you care with them. So I really think it's not just about the sort of body on the slab, as it were. It's about what that means to them and how it informs their, as in this case in the story, all the secrets and lies that unfold.
Yeah.
But every show we've made has been crime so far. So you're absolutely right. It's a sort of it's a national and international obsession, isn't it?
My parents are desperate for me to get cast in something like Downton Abbey, so I will, stop traumatizing them.